Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or a duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, stream it every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers.
From Sunnahfollowers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab, wear your beards, be proud of your beard. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnah followers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
It's all about the flavor. Flavor. 7-Up cake too. Flavor. Everything she got. Flavor. It'll be right for you. Flavor. Amina's peach cobbler. Flavor. 7-Up cake too. Flavor. Everything she got. Flavor. It'll be right for you. Flavor. Amina's peach cobbler. Flavor. Everything she made. Flavor. Will be right for you. Flavor. Amina's peach cobbler. Flavor. 7-Up cake. Flavor. Everything she made. Flavor. Will be good for you. Flavor.
Assalamu alaikum. Please mark your calendars. Starting this Friday, March 1st, we will be replacing the 6 p.m. Eastern Aqidah class, Al-Wala Wal-Bara class, with a special program for the month of Ramadan. Please join Ustada Layla Nashiba for the first 7 days of Ramadan with a preparation course. Allow her to walk you every day after that with the fiqh of fasting. Don't forget, mark your calendars, and we're streaming it right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Ina alhamdulillah, wassalam Allah, wa rasulullah. Welcome everybody to day 9. This is the 9th day, almost the end of the 9th day. It is the end of the 9th day for some of us in different parts of the world. Brother Malik, who's our Quran recitation teacher, he's going to bed now, subhanallah. So, he completed his 9th day. But subhanallah, for us here in America, in this Western hemisphere, we're the last. Subhanallah, for many of us on the East Coast, it's almost the end. We have about 45 minutes to an hour left before we break our fast, and we will have day 9 down. But unfortunately for the West Coasters, I'm sorry, y'all got a long way to go. Hello, nothing I can do. You chose to live out in California. It's that California, California living. You got the price to pay. Y'all the last to break y'all fast. Subhanallah. But alhamdulillah, I'm so proud of everyone because we've made it this far. We've made it this far to the 9th day of fasting, and your bodies are now used to it. Your stomach is used to it. It's been shrunk It's shrunk down to its normal size now. If you haven't been stuffing it all night, it should be the size of your fist. This is how the size of stomach normally is, the size of your fist. You've probably allowed it to shrink back down to its regular size if you've been eating within moderation, like we've been speaking about earlier. So mashallah, you should be used to it. You should be acclimated to it. You should feel this spiritualness that you've never felt before. For the new shahadas, the new practicing Muslim too, you should feel a spirituality. You should feel right now a closeness with Allah. You should feel a confidence and a warmth overtaking you right now, because you know what you have to do. You've gotten your head on track. You know what vices you have to stay away from now. You know what people have been bringing you down all this time, and you have to let them go. So right now, on the 9th day of Ramadan, you should feel more like, I see what I have to do now. You know, I have to change, my friends. I have to stop doing this. Okay, so you have a sense of direction now, and you have that confidence to make that change, because this connection, your fitra, the fitra has been awakened within your heart, and you feel that connection to Allah. You know that Allah is merciful. You know that Allah will forgive any sin, no matter how big it is, as long as you repent out of sincerity. And you've done that. You've done your repentance. So you should feel like a burden has been lifted off your shoulders, and you can put a smile on your face and be more determined to make it through the next day, and know that you will come out a winner, because Allah is not going to place a burden on you. Whatever you have to deal with, He's not going to place a burden on you that you can't handle. So you'll go to work and face those non-believers with your head held high, with confidence, knowing that they can plot and plan all they want to, but Allah is the best of planners. You can look at your neighbors, the ones who've been causing you a problem. Allah will take care of them. Even the people in your community, your Muslim community, those women who've caused problems in your marriage, those women who've caused problems for you. Well, now, inshallah, you understand that your home is better for you. And that's something I really want to emphasize to the Muslim women listening to me. Maybe now you know who you are. You sisters who've told me that there were people playing in your marriage. Those women at the mosque kept stuff going. Well, now you know what Allah meant when He said your home is better for you. The mosque is not the place for a woman. I'm just going to keep it real. Your place is at home. The mosque is where your husband needs to be. The mosque is where your sons need to be. But for you, your reward is at home. Then you don't have to deal with the jealous women. Then you don't have to deal with the antics and the deviousness of women, because we are the most vicious creatures that Allah created. And we know it. I'm a woman. I'm a real woman. I'm a WOMAN woman. But I can tell you, I know the nature of myself. I know the nature of a woman. We are the most devious creatures out there. Oh, yes, we are. We can start a war. Oh, yes, we can stop a war too. So this is why Allah tells us women that our homes are better. You dealing with other women who are just as devious as you. You're dealing with other females who have the same abilities to start a fire and put it out just like you. So stay home. And you ain't got to deal with their antics. You can focus on yourself, your husband, and your children. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah. Wait, hold on. This allergies, man. Yeah, it's for everybody. A sister was typing about her allergies. Mine too, you see. It's almost spring. Well, it is spring, I think. I don't know. Sometime it's coming up. But that pollen is everywhere. But yes, sister, yeah, it doesn't break your fast. I talked about that yesterday. I need to do it too. She's asking me about inhalers. The inhalers do not break your fast, guys. In fact, that's what I didn't do. I just woke up. I didn't take my nasal inhaler. And now y'all see my nose turning red. I'll take it after the class. Yeah, but if you spray it, you got the kind like I just spray it in your nose. Even if it goes down your throat, it does not break your fast. Yeah. Yeah, so you sisters are finding out that your homes are better for you. And hopefully you sisters will make your home your domain. I mean, I know some of us have to work. A lot of us have to work. But the sisters who have to work, you know, I just retired. So I know how you feel. I worked for 36 years. I just retired. I'm telling you, ain't nothing like it. Being home. That's the thing. I thank Allah every day for allowing me to start working young so I could retire young and enjoy the rest of my life. I never wanted to be one of those women who work and die. They work all their life and have nothing to show for it, and they die alone. I never wanted that. I wanted to be able to retire while I'm still young and enjoy. I'm not young, but while I'm still able to walk, move, and still got my good looks and stuff, so I can enjoy the world. I don't want to be 100 years old and die, and I just retired. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, sister, a lot of these brothers are weak. These men that we're married to are weak. And I'm going to talk about that. For you sisters like this sister here, let me share her comment so y'all can see. She's on YouTube, so I can share the comments there. She said her husband doesn't believe smoking breaks the fast. Well, sister, as your faith grows, you're going to divorce him. Because righteous women are for righteous men. Okay, as you continue to grow in your iman, in your belief, you're going to look at your husband and see that he's still stagnant, that he's not the leader that he should be for you, because it's the role of the man to lead us in Islam, to lead us. How can he lead you to paradise when he's deliberately committing sin? You're going to end up divorcing him. And Allah will replace him with somebody better for you. You know, and that's sad that some of you brothers are weak like that. You're supposed to be leaders of the family, not your wife leading you. Smoking is haram. It not only breaks your fast, it's haram. What makes you think you can smoke cigarettes? Cigarette smoking is haram. Don't you Muslims understand that? Nicotine is an intoxicant. Allah says in the Quran, all intoxicants are haram. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said all intoxicants are haram. So, brother, if you listening to me, if you don't want to lose your wife, quit smoking. That usually scares the men. If your husband is a believing man and he hear me saying this should scare him to get rid of that drug, because he ain't going to lose his wife. It's a drug, nicotine. And I have a lot of smokers here. And by the way, tell your husband too, sister, to help him quit smoking, to get the Nicoderm patch. The Nicoderm patch is one of the best things they came up with to help people kick the habit of smoking. And Nicoderm patches do not break the fast. You wear the Nicoderm patch, and by the end of Ramadan, he'll be he'll be over that nasty habit. Yeah. So you want to improve. Tell him to keep improving. He wants to improve every day, but he wants to improve to the point where, first of all, he got to let go of them drugs. And I hate to tell y'all, cigarettes is a drug. It's a drug. It's haram. It's like alcohol. It's like weed. We got to quit that. No smoking. Period. Yeah. Yeah. So, he'll get over it. Inshallah, sister, if you explain to him, because he probably doesn't know it's haram. A lot of Muslims don't understand that nicotine is an intoxicant. Any doctor will tell you that. That's why you can't stop doing it. It's an intoxicant. He's addicted to it. Yeah. Yeah. Tell him to keep on improving. I'm proud of him because he's going to the mosque, because he's making his prayers. Alhamdulillah. It's a good man. He's trying to change the condition of himself, but he didn't know. Y'all see why? And this is a good lesson for the young brothers here, the brother Ibrahim and the rest of the kids here. This is why we don't go around calling Muslims kafirs, because a lot of Muslims don't know the truth. The brother just didn't know. He didn't know. There's a lot of, look how many Muslims smoke cigarettes. Look at all the hookah, what they call them places, these hookah shops everywhere, owned by Arabs, owned by people from Arabia. That's hookah shops is haram. All that stuff is haram. Okay? So the American Muslims don't know no better, because they're looking at the Arabs come over here to America and open up drug shops. That's what hookah is, a drug. You open up a crack shop. So you giving the wrong message to Western Muslims who trying to learn the deen, Arabs. And those are my brothers and sisters, the Arabs. Oh yeah, my peoples. Get it together. You wouldn't have a hookah shop back in Arabia. You'd be locked up. Subhanallah. Got to keep it real. Sister went fast, say, Layla, tell them they bring a hookah shop here. See what happened. Yeah, them hookah shops, they're horrible. Yeah, but subhanallah, alhamdulillah, I'm proud of everybody. Everybody here, you are all making great advancements in your journey towards Allah. Everybody should be stronger in their faith, stronger in their practice right now. You should feel that closeness to Allah. And today, what I'm going to talk about is something different. I mean, we're going to continue speaking about how to reach the status of righteousness. But I had something different planned for you originally today. But I had to redo my PowerPoint and change my curricula for today, because one of the new shahadas, and like I said, one of the things that the people of dawah we like during this month is, this is our chance to give dawah to the new shahadas. And one of the new shahadas called me and she asked me, she said, Sister Layla, she said she went to the mosque last night for the Taraweeh. And she said she met with the imam. He asked how she was doing, and everything with her since she became Muslim, which is good. He checked up on her. And then he told her, well, you make sure that if you want your fast to be accepted, listen to this, guys, because many of you may have heard it too. He told her, if you want your fast to be accepted, you have to read one juz of the Quran every day. So she said, what is that? And he said, you know how the Quran has markings in it? For the first day you read to this point, then the second day, he said, if you want your fast to be accepted, you have to do that. So she said, Sister Layla, it's impossible for me to do that. She said, I work. I don't get off from work until the evening. And when I get off from work, I run home and I watch your class and I learn from you. She said, then I break my fast. Then I watch your other class. She said, and then I have to go to sleep. She said, I got to be up for work. She said, I can't sit there and read for no hour. I mean, I told her, Astaghfirullah. This is why you brothers have to be very careful. Like I told you guys, we have a lot of shahadas here in America. Women convert to Islam every day. There are women converting to Islam like crazy in America. But check back with those women a year later. We have a high apostasy rate. Most of them have apostated from this religion. Why? Because they hooked up with some man or some community that made it hard for her. Either they hook up with these brothers that tell them because they are Muslim and a woman, they have to be ugly and they can't wear nice clothes. They can't be a woman. Or they hook up with these brothers that tell them stuff like this to make it hard. And by the way, he never even told her that all she had to do when she prayed is say, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. He's one of the ones that told her to read from a paper. Read the Fatiha, try to read it from a paper, which that's not correct. We don't read nothing from a paper. It's going to destroy your concentration. Your khushua is supposed to be on Allah when you pray. And the Prophet Muhammad taught us, until you learn what to say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, because it's easy on the tongue. That means no matter what language you speak. So this imam, like I told her, he told you wrong. And I want all the Muslims listening to me to understand, whoever is telling you that in order for your fast to be accepted, you have to read 1 juz of the Quran, that's a lie. Your fast is not even contingent on the Quran. You don't have to read no Quran at all during the month of Ramadan, and your fast is still accepted, sisters. We're going to have to get in the habit of telling people to give us the proof. When people come to you telling you that you have to do something, tell them, oh, thank you. Can you give me the evidence so I can see it? Where did Allah say that I have to read 1 juz of the Quran, every day? This is not Islam. That's Islam, but not Islam. You sisters got it? So that's why I changed my curricula for today. Where I'm going to talk about what Islam teaches us, what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us about the Quran during the month of Ramadan. Okay, that's what I'm going to talk about today. And what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam shared with us is that through reading the Quran and pondering its meaning, it helps us to reach that station of righteousness, because the Quran contains the laws, the guidance, and all of that we need. But did he say that we have to do it during Ramadan in order for our fast to be accepted? No. So that's why I changed my curricula for the day. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen, and I want the new shahadas, my new converts, to take screenshots. So the next time an imam tells you that, you can print out this paper and have it and say, sister, they know who I am. Tell them, Sister Layla Nashiba said you're wrong. They know who I am. Tell them, Layla Nashiba said you're wrong. That I don't have to read the Quran for my fast to be accepted. And tell them, Layla Nashiba said, come to her and bring her your dalil. And I'll make sure I got Sheikh Morsi on standby or Jamali. Hello? Or I'll bring in a Dr. Asim too, who's the Fusha scholar. Tell them that. All right? Making these people, this is how people apostate from the religion. Making it hard and ugly. Okay, so let me put this PowerPoint on the screen. So I had to change everything for the sisters. This is for the new shahadas and you old Muslims too, because a lot of you believe that too. A lot of you may have been told that your fast is not accepted if you don't read the Quran. And a lot of people ask me, well, what does Allah mean? Don't they say, isn't it said that the Ramadan is the month of the Quran? What does it mean when we say Ramadan is the month of the Quran? Well, I'm going to tell you what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what it means when he said Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So let me share my screen here. Y'all know I got to go through this. Okay. You guys can watch this for a second while I put on my new shahadas in here. Okay, there. And yeah, she's in here. Okay, good. Okay, this is the PowerPoint for the people on Facebook and YouTube. Let me make it big. Yeah, people make it hard, you know, their own religion. And she said that she believed him because he's Arabic. The imam of her mosque is Arabic. You know, Islam is not based on race, guys. I want you new shahadas to get over that too. I want the new shahadas to understand that just because a person is Arabic doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. That's another thing I want the Muslims here in America, these new shahadas, to understand. Because a woman is Arabic or because a man is Arabic don't mean he's God's gift on earth. You're going to find that there's many Arabs that don't understand their religion. You're going to find that. You see more Arabs committing sins. Like I said, who owns the hookah shops here in America? Who owns the convenience stores and sells the drug paraphernalia, that they use to smoke crack with? So just because somebody is Arabic don't mean nothing. Hello, there's going to be a lot of Arabs in hell. Like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, where's Abu Jahl? He was Arabic. Where's Abu Lahab? They in hell. So this misconception that you new shahadas have, that because somebody is Arabic, they know what they're talking about, you're going to be face the reality. You will find more Arabs doing innovation than non-Arabs in America. You will find more people following the Sunnah who are not Arabic than people who are in America. So don't be deluded by that. That's a word of advice to my new shahada sisters here. All right, so let me put this up on the screen now. This is the PowerPoint. I'll make it so y'all can see it. Y'all see that? Okay, so make sure, is it showing up on the screen, guys, the full screen? Because I don't have,
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is day 9, the 9th day of fasting. I changed my PowerPoint. Today, we're going to speak about how we can become people of righteousness through this month of the Quran. Through this month of Quran. And what does it mean when we say that it's the month of the Quran? Does that mean I have to read it? Let's see. Let's take a look at what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Now, Ramadan does have a special relationship with the Quran. And the Quran is one of the greatest sources in helping each and every one of us in our journey to righteousness. But why is it that the Quran has this relationship? Well, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was completed. When you read where Allah says in the Quran that it's the month in which the Quran was sent down, that's bad English. If I were to translate that into better English, I would say it's the month in which the Quran was completed. Completed. Allah did not send the Quran down in book form, during the month of Ramadan. That's not what that means. It means Allah sent the last verses down during the month of Ramadan. And after those last verses were sent to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that was it. Our religion was completed. Our religion was perfected. And we had all the guidance we needed. We had all the clear proofs we needed. The Quran is the criterion of right and wrong. So that's what Allah means when he says this: whoever amongst you witnesses the month of Ramadan, fast it. So that's what this verse means. This is the special relationship between the Quran and Ramadan. It's the month that Allah completed it. That's what that verse in Surah Baqarah means. The last verses were sent. Okay? And also, what makes this month so special regarding the Quran, Ibn Abbas tells us that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most generous person every day of the year. But he became even more generous during the month of Ramadan because the angel Jibril came to him every night during the month of Ramadan and rehearsed the Quran with him. That's the connection too. During the month of Ramadan, Jibril came every night and would test the Prophet, quiz the Prophet, ask him, recite in the name of your Lord. Do you understand the meaning of that verse, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So that's the special relationship the Quran has during Ramadan. It was completed, and also during this month, Jibril would meet with him every night to make sure that the Prophet understood it, the meaning of it, and everything else. And that hadith is authentic. It's Bukhari. So that hadith teaches us, just from that hadith alone, the simple fact that that Jibril, alayhi salam, the angel Jibril, would meet with the Prophet every night to go over the Quran with him to see if he understood it. That teaches us that during the month of Ramadan, this is the best time to study the Quran. That's all. It's not saying that we have to, but it's one of the best times to study it. This is the time in which people check their memory and their knowledge of it with the scholar of the Quran. This is the best time, like my little kids. Y'all saw my little Sunnah follower kid, brother Yusuf, came one the other day. I asked him where he'd been. He's been in Quran school. He's in Quran school. The Somali children, they meet, during this month with the scholars of the Quran to correct and check their recitation, to make sure that they're reciting with the proper tajweed and stuff. Okay? And also during this month, we try to increase our recitation of it. That's why here at my website, Brother Malik is teaching you how to recite the Quran Monday through Friday. Normally he does Monday through Thursday, but he added Friday too. Monday through Friday from 5 to 6:30, you can come in and go over your recitation of the Quran with Brother Malik, correct your tajweed or whatever with him. This is a good time because this is the month in which the Quran was completed. Okay? And also the nighttime is the best time for us to read the Quran because we're not distracted. And Allah tells us that in the Quran, it's best to concentrate during the night when your children are asleep, you're not working, and you can devote more time to, understanding the meaning of what Allah is saying. So that's what that hadith is telling us. That hadith is not telling us to read a Jews each day. I don't know where this Jews reading came from. Maybe y'all can ask Jamali about that. Because like I say, all I learn is the Sunnah. I don't learn no full mathab stuff. Ask Jamali where that came from. But I don't know. But you don't have to do that. Okay? Now, the last year, this is some trivia that I want every Muslim to know. The angel Jibril alayhi salam would come to rehearse the Quran with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Ramadan once every year. But the year in which the Prophet died, Jibril did it twice. He did it twice to make sure that it was together, that he understood it. Okay? So again, I'm telling you from the hadiths what the connection between the Quran and the month of Ramadan is. And how did the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam view the Quran during this month? Well, some of the companions would read the Quran during this month and complete the entire Quran during the night prayer every 3 days. Some companions would read the whole Quran during their night prayer every 7 days. And y'all know I'm going to throw in Aisha. Aisha radiallahu anha. She would recite from the beginning of the Quran on the day of Ramadan after Fajr. And she would keep reading until the sun had risen. And then she would go to sleep. Okay, so they would read, the companions would look at the month of Ramadan as the month for them to check their understanding of Allah's laws, to check their understanding of Allah's rules, of Allah's guidelines. And there's a reason for this, because we don't want to fall into the same trap that the Christians fell in and the Jews fell in, where we forgot the book sent to us by Allah because we never read it all year round. Okay. And also there's some rules and virtues to reading the Quran. Whenever you read the Quran, it is forbidden to complete the whole Quran in less than 3 days. I want all the brothers to understand that, because some of the brothers think they're supposed to sit there and finish the Quran in 1 day. In 1 day. Oh no, it's forbidden to do that. Because how are you going to understand anything if you going through that book in 1 day like that? And also, again, for you sisters, for those of us who do work, those of us who are busy, even myself, I don't have the time to read no juice because I'm too busy streaming. I'm teaching y'all the religion all day. I got to have time to eat. I have to have time to sleep. I don't have time to sit there reading no juices. But the best time for anyone to recite or read the Quran is during the last 10 nights, the last 10 nights of Ramadan, because of the night of Qadr. So that's when even me, busy as I am, I do try to take some time during the last 10 days to at least read a chapter, at least try to read 1 chapter of the Quran on each night, because there's so many virtues of that for the night of Qadr. And we're going to talk about that later on, in the month. And also, for those of you living overseas, the best place to recite the Quran is in Mecca. Okay, so those are some virtues and rules. But for you sisters who work, you don't have time to read the Quran every day. Well, first of all, you're learning the Quran with me, because every class I teach, like I just gave y'all 2 verses. I just went over 2 verses of the Quran with you right now and told you the meaning of. You're going to learn the Quran from me and by coming to my classes. But during the last 10 nights of Ramadan, I'm going to try to, encourage you sisters to take some time to read at least 1 chapter to get the reward of the night of Qadr. And we'll talk about that later. Okay? And the reason why the companions put emphasis on studying the Quran during Ramadan is because, again, they didn't want to fall in the same category that the Jews and Christians did. Listen to what Allah says about them in the interpretation, the meaning. We took a trust from those who said they were Christians, but they forgot part of the book. And we don't want to end up like that. The Christians forgot their books. The Jews forgot their book. We Muslims don't want to forget, so we practice reading and reciting the Quran so we can preserve it. That's how the Quran stays preserved. Okay, we don't want to fall into the same trap that they fell in. So that's why the companions made the Quran something to recite during Ramadan. And even our Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, gives advice to those of us who do read the Quran. He said, read the Quran as long as your heart agrees with it. But if you find your heart disagreeing, then stop reading it. In other words, read the Quran as long as you understand what you're saying. But when you find yourself rejecting or not paying attention to what you're reading, then stop. And don't argue about it. You will see some of these Muslim women, they have these study groups at the mosque where they read the Quran together. I hear about how some of them get to fighting at the mosque. Their interpretation, giving your opinion of what you think this verse means, what you think that verse means. The Quran is supposed to bring us together, not tear us apart. So what Allah is saying. But if you find your heart rejecting what Allah is saying or disagreeing with what he's saying, then put it down. And if you in one of those study circles at the mosque and the sisters are arguing, they're sitting there arguing over what a verse means, you know, break the group up. We're done for the day. Close it up. Okay? And finally, we like to read the Quran during the month of Ramadan because on the day of judgment, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will complain to Allah against anyone who neglected the Quran. And how do we neglect it? We neglect it by not reading it all year long or not listening to it all year round, not studying it, not understanding it, not conveying its message. And not judging, using it, the Quran as our judge in our personal life. You don't want the prophet to stand looking across from you on that bridge telling Allah that he got a complaint because you never read the Quran. You never studied it. You never talked about it, conveyed this message to anyone. And finally, before I close for tonight, I want everyone to understand how we can benefit from the Quran and reach that station of righteousness that the companions reached. Well, listen to it. For those of us who don't have the time to read, like even myself, if I do get a break away from this website, I'll turn on the Quran while if I am cooking. I don't cook much. But if I do cook, I'll turn the Quran on and listen to it while I'm cooking my food and listen attentively to it. That's why I tell you, American Muslims, play the Quran with the transliteration of the meaning. It'll say it in Arabic and then it'll give you the English meaning. Listen to that. And then think about what Allah is saying to you. That's how you benefit from it. You're not going to get no benefit listening to it in Arabic or saying it in Arabic and you don't know what you're saying. You have to ponder what you're saying, ponder the meaning. And you must have an open mind and a sincere heart to want to learn and grasp what Allah is saying. So that is why Ramadan is called the month of the Quran. It's not referred to as being the month of the Quran because we have to read a juice every day. No, it's the month of the Quran for all of those reasons I've given you here. And this is what our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. So you have to be careful, sisters. I want all you sisters to be careful. I tell you all the time, be careful of who you take your knowledge and information of Islam from. There's a lot of people that make this religion hard on you. Allah perfected this deen for us and made it easy for us. Allah knows that people have to work. Allah knows that you sisters got children to run after. Allah knows we have to clean our house. We have sicknesses and all of that. Do you think he knows that fasting alone is a hardship on all of us? Do you think he'd be so cruel, that Allah would be so cruel that he would also impose on you to complete the entire Quran too, in addition to your fast? Oh no. That's man, not Allah. That's man, not Allah. And don't be duped. Just because a person is Arabic don't mean nothing. There will be a lot of Arabs in the hellfire. Hello? Just because you Arab don't mean you going to paradise. Oh no. And by the way, there is no authentic hadith on this planet that says Arabic is the language of paradise either. Don't fall for none of that racism, that tribalism. And I can speak this way because I'm half Arabic too. I got every country in me. I'm Viking, Bantu, Arabic, all of it is here. Even 1% Chinese. That's why my eyes look like this. 1% Chinese too. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, Ayin. Oh yeah, me and Ayin. She's Chinese. All right. So don't fall into that racism trap. There's nothing that says the language of paradise is Arabic. That's garbage. That's a fairy tale. Allah is the creator of all language. Allah says he can understand the fish in the sea. He understood when the ant made dua and said, "Oh Allah, keep Solomon from stepping on me." And Allah answered the dua of the ant. If Allah can understand an ant language, he can understand your language, because as he says, I am the creator of all language. Language comes from Allah, not from man. So don't fall for that crap, sisters. And like I told you yesterday, most of those people that for the new shahadas, most of these Muslims that you're going to come in contact with who are Arabic, who's talk that stuff, they say it out of jealousy, because they can see that even though you're not Arab, you're doing better than they are. Seriously, I'm telling you. So they'll try to pull that Arab superiority card by saying, "Oh, you have to learn Arabic because you don't." But guess what? They don't speak Arabic either. Let me just break that down. They don't speak Arabic. They speak slang. Just like you speak slang, broke down American English. They speak slang, broke down Arabic. They don't speak Fusha. They don't speak the language of the Quran. And let me tell you something else. Most of them don't even understand the Quran. They don't, because they don't speak that. It's like classical, it's like Shakespeare to us. They have to read the English. I'm going to break it. Sister Wafat laughed and she said, "Tell them, Layla." I'm going to tell you. A lot of them have to read the English to understand what they're saying, because they don't speak Arabic. So don't fall for that Arabic crap, guys. Don't fall for that. They don't speak that. One of the sisters here says, "I live in the Emirates." She said the kids here in the Emirates are not even speaking Arabic. They're speaking English. Hello? Don't fall for that, guys. And you Arabic people, stop it. Scaring away these new shahadas. Got my eyes on you. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Got any questions? And by the way, for all my new shahadas, I hope that I made this clear. Is it clear? Did I make it clear for them, Mina? Awa? Did I explain that well for them about that Quran and Fus reading a Jew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was crystal clear.
Yeah, because I don't want you people to be scared away, okay, from the religion. Yeah, any questions? Go ahead, baby.
Can you be a Muslim and you don't wear hijabs?
Yeah, you can be a Muslim and not wear hijab, but you can't be a believer. Yeah, you can be a Muslim and not wear hijab, but you cannot be a believer and not wear hijab. The believer, the difference between a Muslim and a believer is the believer would never, ever, ever deliberately, intentionally disobey Allah, but a mere Muslim may. Does that make sense? You want to be a believing Muslim. You don't want to be just a Muslim. Because just a Muslim could have hypocrisy in their heart. You don't want to have any hypocrisy in your heart. What is hypocrisy? That's when I say I believe in Allah, but my actions are showing the opposite. If you truly believe in Allah, you will obey him. You will do what he commands you to do. Okay, but by the fact that I'm not doing what he told me to do shows that I got hypocrisy in my heart. So you don't want to be a person like that. You want to be a person that's real. A real person does everything Allah says do without question. That's what Islam means. Islam means total submission to Allah. Okay, I'm submitting my face totally to Allah. That means I'm doing everything he commands. I'm dressed.
I have another question.
Yes, go ahead, baby.
Can you pray at home with your knees showing?
Are you a girl or boy?
Boy.
Okay, for the boy, your private parts are from your navel to the knee. So when you make prayer, you want to make sure that your knees are covered. Okay, your knees are covered. Yeah, you don't know. And in fact, even when you leave the house as a boy, you should not show anything from the navel to the knee. Your knees have to be covered at all times as a boy. Yeah, wa alaikum salam. We got somebody here saying, yes, this is day 9. For us, if you're from the United Kingdom, you should be going on day 6, day 10. This is the 10th day for you. It's the 9th day for us, but it's the 10th day for you. So for the sister in London, you guys should have fasted. Ramadan began on the 11th. Yeah, so this is the 10th day of Ramadan for you. This is the 9th day for us in America because we're finishing up the 9th day. Yeah, this is your 10th day. So that means you got a day to make up. If you didn't start on time, you got a day to make up. You got one day. Make up one day. Yeah, subhanallah. But that's a fitna like that we go through every year. And the imams that do that, they're going to answer to Allah for that, for misleading the people in the communities. Like even here in America, the moon was seen all over the world on the 10th. Even in America, Dr. Jamali was out in Arizona. He got pictures of the moon, but the people in America lied and said it wasn't no moon sighting. Dr. Jamali is a geologist. That's what he does for a living. And he's got the professional everything. He showed us. He came on here live and showed us how big and beautiful and bright that moon was. That crescent. Okay. But the people here in America lied and said nobody saw the moon. That's a lie. But that's because of the boards. Like Dr. Jamali said, in America, the imams don't have the power anymore. You know, the mosque boards overruled the imam, and they decided, because they follow ISNA, you know, that they was not going to start Ramadan until Tuesday or whatever. Yeah, politics. And it's all, the people that's going to pay for that are those board people who do that.
I got a third question.
Yes, go ahead.
I forgot one question. I'll think about it.
Is that Israel's baby, you guys? Or is that Israel's nephew?
It looks like my little brother.
Who is it?
My little brother, I think.
You can tell they related. Fame, he sounds just like Israel's little baby. Y'all, you can tell y'all cousins. Y'all all sound alike. Subhanallah, he sounds just like Hamza. That's who he sound like, Hamza. Probably look like him too. MashaAllah. Yeah, any other questions or comments? And by the way, guys, the next class I have is at 10. Remember, we changed the time. We changed it from 9 till 10 for the sisters on the central time to break their fast. So it'll be at 10 o'clock tonight. And I'll be doing the hadith class at 10 tonight, because we changed it so that the Central Coast people can break their fast and without no problems. I'm sorry for the West Coast. Ain't nothing I can do for the people out there in Fresno. I don't know. I mean, y'all's the last people on earth to break fast. I can't accommodate y'all. I'm sorry. I'd have to do the class at 12 o'clock at night. But I got the East Coast and
maybe I shouldn't accommodate y'all on no cobblers and 7-Up cakes.
Well, you can sit there, y'all can eat and listen. Y'all can listen to us and eat. I just know that that Mina won't be able to moderate for me like she does. She usually keeps me abreasted. But y'all can listen while y'all eat. But I had to accommodate the central time zone and Eastern. All right, guys, is it time for me to break fast yet? Oh.
No, Latifah's here. She didn't say anything.
Okay, I got a couple of minutes then. Yeah, guess what I'm breaking fast with today, Fresno?
You got 4 minutes.
Oh, I got time. I'm breaking fast with a sandwich. I bought that convenience store delivers all night. I had them
Now, I got some good news maybe for y'all East Coast people. I'm doing a test run right now with Sakina to see if she can get her 10-edge, the big 7-Up cake. So you have a choice on if you want a big one or you can get the 2.
Yeah, I was going to ask you why you don't put the big one on. I mean, it's the same way of shipping. It wouldn't mess it up.
Don't start now, Sheba. Don't start.
I don't know why you don't send the big one anyway.
House now, Sheba. My nerves like yours.
Well, you got to get together because the way you packaged it was perfect. I mean, the containers you use, everything is sealed up and it's cushioned.
How Sakina's come out, and if it come out good, then y'all will be able to choose whether you want the little ones, the mini ones, or the big ones.
Yeah, because I was thinking the mini ones is perfect for me. But everybody else want the big one because everybody got a family except for me. So that big one, and you can just box it up.
And then I need to get a bunch of orders for them little ones. You know what I'm saying? Because one batch gonna make a bunch of little ones. So I gotta, so it's easier for me if I can do the big ones. It'll be easier for me that way. But
because you did the big ones before, didn't me and Jayla buy a big one? I didn't have no problem. That's why I don't know why you stopped.
Because of my nerves now, Sheba. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. If anybody say one thing is over, one thing you better keep it to yourself, baby.
Yeah, that's 7. And by the way, guys, that 7-Up pound cake is the bomb. I ate it. I have to admit, I ate a whole one yesterday. Fresno, I ate one of the babies up. I'm sorry, I just ate it up. And I didn't get sick. That's how little it is. My stomach can hold it.
Oh, what happened? You did what?
I ate the whole thing. I did the Gracie for Sahur. I said, no, forget this. I took it out the thing and just ate the whole thing. I took it in my hand and ate the whole thing. And I said, and wallahi, I said, I need to tell Amina to sell the big ones because that little one nobody ain't gonna take that. Nope. And it's so good. You can't just eat one piece and stop. Yeah, it's delicious. It melts. It melts in your mouth. The butter and stuff, it just melts in your mouth. So I just said, forget that. I took the whole thing and ate it. That was my suhoor. And I drank the tea and I'm fine.
Okay, I'm good as God. Long as you fine.
I'm gonna eat that other one today. Yeah, but I said I got to get a big one. What's this? Yeah, go ahead, baby. I got a question here too. Let me see this brother's question first. He said, I saw something online that said if you intend to sin after running. Yeah, that's correct. Somebody with that mic, cut it off. Oh, that's a terrible sound.
Cut it off after I say it's time to break fast.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me break my fast. Let me hold on for 1 second. Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna leave.
What? Ask your question.
If you're not fasting, can you still eat and look it up?
Okay. What was it? What was the question again?
If you're not fasting, can you still eat and look it up?
No, you can't eat if you fasting. Nope. If you fasting, you can't eat at all. Nope.
If you're not fasting, can you still eat and look it up?
If you're not fasting, can you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the question here, yes, this is correct, guys. This is what I was telling you, sisters. Even during the month of Ramadan, Allah does not accept your good deeds if you are deliberately, intentionally disobeying Allah. You women who do not wear hijab, Allah is not accepting your prayers. Allah is not accepting your fast. He's not accepting none of your good deeds. No time of the year. Whenever we are deliberately, intentionally disobeying Allah, like for those of you who smoke cigarettes, as long as you keep smoking cigarettes, none of your prayers, none of your fasts, none of your good deeds are accepted. And you don't want to die that way because you're going to die a bankrupt person. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there are some people, the alcoholic will be raised up as a kafir on the day of judgment. Okay, the fornicator will be raised up as a kafir. Why? Because they took their desires and their love for those haram things over Allah. Allah blessed you with a life. You had 25 years to clean your life up and you didn't. You knew cigarette smoking was haram. You knew alcohol was haram, but you did it anyway. Ain't none of your good deeds accepted. And some people can be raised up as kafir because they didn't really believe in Allah. They put their love for those devices as their God. So that's true. Okay. That's why I'm telling you, sisters, don't try to fast. What you trying to fast for if you ain't wearing a hijab? Allah's not accepting your fast. You just starving yourself. Why are you making prayers? If you don't wear a hijab, Allah is not accepting none of your prayers either. That's some serious stuff. If you women start to think correctly, you will put your hijab on because none of your good deeds are accepted. No prayers, nothing. Put that hijab on, sisters. All this stuff about be patient with the non-hijabis. No. You don't be patient with something like that. That's the first thing these sisters got to understand when they convert to Islam. You have to cover up because Allah is not going to accept nothing from you if you're disobeying him publicly. There's no patience on that, guys. Because when you say be patient with them, you're saying it's okay for them to do it. No, it's not okay. Yeah. Any other questions before I go to break to eat me some food? Okay, I'm going to log out for now. Please log back in at 10. My next class will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope that I got through to the new shahadas. You do not have to read a juice of the Quran each night for Ramadan. And you do not have to read your fast is not contingent on whether you read it or not. Is there a hadith that says cigarettes is haram? Yes. Let me give you the hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said anything that intoxicates the brain is haram. There's your hadith. That's what I'm telling y'all. Don't try to play the smart game with smart Layla. You can't outsmart a woman. There's nothing that y'all can come up with today that the Prophet did not address. Nicotine is an intoxicant. Your doctors will tell you that. Nicotine is an intoxicant. American Muslims, learn. Marijuana is an intoxicant. Crack is an intoxicant. Crank, heroin, LSD. As Umar radiallahu anha explained, he said anything. Let me give y'all the history. When Islam spread throughout the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire, when Umar radiallahu anha became the caliphate over the Muslims, that's when they fought against the Persians. The Persians used to get high, guys. The Persians smoked opium. Oh, yeah. Oh, they was into it. Still are. Where do y'all think your hookah pipes come from? The Persians were the hookah. The hookah was not Arabic. Those were the Persians that smoked that hookah. They put opium in it. So when Islam spread throughout Persia and the Persians converted to Islam, they came to Medina and they said, and the people said, oh, Umar, the Persians, they smoke opium in their little hookah pipes. The prophets, Umar said, that's haram. They said, but it's not alcohol. The Persians said, this is not alcohol. This is opium. And that's when Umar radiallahu anha said anything. And I want all you Muslims to write this down. This hadith is authentic. This hadith is authentic. What's the source? What's the source? Sahih Muslim, Muwatta. Umar radiallahu anha said anything that befogs the brain and makes you high is considered an intoxicant. And when he told the Persians that, they stopped it. So that's your dalil. Anything that befogs your mind and makes you high is an intoxicant, not just alcohol. So that includes opium, that includes marijuana, that includes crack, crank, sniffing glue. It's not haram for us to use glue, but if I'm going to sit there and sniff it to get high off of it, that's haram. It's haram for me to snort glue because it's making me high. I lived in Southern Ohio with the Ku Klux Klan. Oh, yeah. Before I moved back home, my last 5 years of work. Do you know what those Appalachian children used to do? Listen to this, Latifa. They used to lick toads and get high from toads. Them Appalachian people were nasty. They had a big problem. Their children would go out and catch toads, frogs, and lick their backs because there was something that the frog secretes that made the kids high. And that was a big problem where I lived at, with the little young teenagers overdosing off of licking the back of a frog. Can y'all imagine that? Whatever that is, it's haram because it made you high. As Umar said, anything that intoxicates the brain, that befogs the mind, is an intoxicant and it's haram. So that includes opium, that includes licking frogs, that includes sniffing glue, that includes nicotine, smoking cigarettes. So there's your dalil. And I drop my mic. Bam. Like I said, you Muslims today, there is nothing that you can come up with that has not already been answered. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the lawful and the unlawful have been clearly defined by Allah. Learn it. Okay, so there's your evidence. That's the hadith. I gave you 2 hadiths. The hadith of the Prophet and the hadith of Umar. There you go. That's just 2. I can give you more, but those are 2. So stop smoking, people. Ain't none of your good deeds, not your prayers, not your fast, not your charity. Nothing is being accepted from you because you are a drug addict. That's all a smoker is. And here's another hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the drunkard, that's the drug addict, the drunkard will be raised up as a kafir on the day of judgment. Why? Because he took his love for alcohol and intoxicants over his love for Allah. Hello, drop the mic. Another hadith. So y'all better let them cigarettes go. Let that marijuana go. Let that toad licking stuff go. Wasn't that nasty? Let that sniffing glue. Glue ain't haram, but sniffing it is. All right. Any other questions on drugs? Any other questions about the drugs? Druggers. Think about this too, guys. You want to be known as a drugger? Ooh, I don't want to be a drug addict. Ew. Let them cigarettes go. They stink too. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to close out. I'll see you guys back here, inshallah, at 10. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.